After debuting in 2013, it took BTS a few years to get to the top. Now they're the most popular group in the world and they're insanely rich too. It's said that the members have about $120 million as a combined net worth as, according to Forbes, it doubled from their net worth of $50 million in 2020. They all have shares in HYBE, but also sell record amounts of albums, both physically and digitally, world tours and concerts, deals with the most luxurious brands like Samsung, Hyundai, and Louis Vuitton, merch sales, streams, and commercials. In 2019 only, the group made $170 million from their Love Yourself World Tour. BTS also brings in $3.9 billion to the country's economy. Several sources have said that they're the most valuable boy band in the world at the moment. This just made fans wonder just how rich the BTS members are and who takes the place of the richest one. Jin is the 7th richest member in BTS, with his net worth officially being reported as around $20 million. A tiny portion of his wealth might come from his family, as he comes from a very wealthy background. The rest comes through his earnings as a member of BTS. This includes their profits from releases, promotions, and endorsements. He also gains income from the group's broadcast appearances, as the members in general are very in demand and have high brand power. Jin also owns shares in HYBE, which reached the value of $16 million and earns an additional annual salary of $8 million. As for music-related profits, Jin earns quite a lot of royalties from earning from the Korean Music Copyright Association, where he is credited as a writer on several BTS songs and also his own. His solo music also plays a big part in his net worth, as his solos have been pretty successful. Other ways that he earns is through social media and entrepreneurship. With Jin accounting 42.7 million followers on his Instagram account, he probably earns a minimum of around $53,000 per sponsored post, an amount which can go as high as $638,000 since he is very in demand and has a large following. He also opened a Japanese restaurant in Korea in 2018 and is the owner of several apartment buildings in Seoul. Jin was also spotted driving a Porsche Panamera GTS a few years back, which is priced at a hefty $179,800. He's also been seen driving a sleek Lamborghini Aventador S, which costs upwards of $550,000. Taehyung takes the place of the 6th richest member in BTS, as his net worth has officially been reported as $26 million as of 2022. Just like Jin, most of his earnings come from his activities with BTS and the sales from albums, concerts, tours, and merchandise. Taehyung also owns shares in HYBE and has his own credits in songs like Blue and Gray, Boys with Fun, Hold Me Tight, Run, and on his solo songs Stigma, Winter Bear, Sweet Night, Inner Child, and much more. Unlike the other members in the vocal line, Taehyung has the most solo work, including solos, original soundtracks, acting gigs, and variety show appearances. Taehyung has also had a couple of original soundtracks under his belt, as he lent his voice to hit dramas like Hwarang, The Poet Warrior Youth, Itaewon Class, and Our Beloved Summer. Every single soundtrack release of Taehyung's has reached domestic and international success. He also had a few solo gigs involving acting and variety shows. He had a supporting role in the drama Hwarang, The Poet Warrior Youth, and had solo appearances in variety shows like Celebrity Bromance. He also had a solo photo shoot with Vogue in September 2022, and the edition he was in reached the highest sales index in history, surpassing 1 million on its first pre-order day. As for his social media, Taehyung earns a lot from his Instagram account alone. His earnings per sponsored post begin at $64,000, and this number can go as high as $773,000 since he has a following of 54.1 million. This makes him the idol with the highest Instagram earnings among BTS members and other Korean artists alike. Taehyung is also the owner of a luxurious apartment in Hanam Hill, Gangnam, which is worth $4.5 million. It's reported that he paid everything in cash. As for the car he drives, Taehyung made the choice of purchasing a Hyundai Genesis GV80, a luxury SUV whose price starts at around $57,500. At least we know he can fit all of the BTS members in his car. Jungkook is the 5th richest BTS member. According to Seoul Space, Jungkook has a declared net worth of $26 million. Like his bandmates, he gets a fair share of his earnings from sales and brand endorsements, but he also has a few solo gigs that have solidified his status as one of the richest idols in the industry. Jungkook has a few solo songs and collaborations with Western artists like Charlie Puth on the single Left and Right, and has royalties from the BTS music as a songwriter and artist. Jungkook is involved in co-producing and co-writing many BTS songs. He also earned from his solo appearances on shows like King of Masked Singer, Flower Crew, and Celebrity Bromance. Jungkook also has solo songs which have earned him a lot, and he also got the honor to sing the song for the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022, and he also performed at the opening ceremony for the tournament. This also raised the number of followers on his Instagram account, which is also a way that he profits. His earnings per sponsored post start at around $60,000, which can go up as high as $725,000. Jungkook is a resident of the luxurious Seoul Forest Triage complex, as he purchased an apartment worth $1.7 million all in cash. His luxurious lifestyle doesn't stop at his apartment, as he's the owner of a Mercedes-Benz GT6 3S, which costs around $178,000. The car was then put on auction and sold for $900,000, which marks the highest price in the history of the auction site. Jimin is one of the most popular BTS members, so it's no surprise that he takes the 4th spot on the list, with his net worth officially being reported to reach $26 million. In addition to his earnings as a BTS member, Jimin also earns royalties from the songs that he's credited in as a co-producer and co-writer, including BTS songs and his own solo songs. Jimin also took part in the official soundtrack of the TVN drama Our Blues, and it was pretty successful on both domestic and international charts. He is also the owner of several apartments in Seoul, with one of them being the 91 Hanam, which often gets called the Beverly Hills of Korea. On top of his extremely expensive outfits, Jimin also drives a Porsche Panamera GTS, which starts at around $130,000. Now that BTS have gone on hiatus to focus on their solo projects, it's expected that Jimin's solo gigs and releases will cause his net worth to get bigger and bigger. Namjoon has reached the number 3 spot on this list from his solo work and writing credits alone. According to several sources, his officially reported net worth goes as high as $31 million. Aside from his earnings with BTS, he also earns from his royalties as a writer, composer, and producer. He hasn't only worked on BTS's songs, because according to the Korean Music Copyright Association, he has more than 200 songs credited under his name, making him the youngest and second most credited musician under the association. This includes the songs that he has made for his group, his solo songs, and other artists like TXT, Steve Aoki, and Glam. Namjoon has also released plenty of solo songs like his mixtapes RM and Mono, and most recently his album Indigo. He has plenty of noteworthy collaborations under his belt too, like Whale, Erykah Badu, Anderson .Paak, and much more. He's also featured on other artist tracks including Fall Out Boy, Lil Nas X, Han, Gecko, and more. Even though Namjoon has appeared on different shows with his fellow BTS members, he has made some solo appearances of his own. Some of the shows he appeared in alone include Running Man and Problematic Man, and he is also the host of music shows like M Countdown and Inkigayo, and even KCON New York. Just like Jimin, Namjoon purchased a house in the 91 Hanam complex for $5.63 million in March of 2021. Namjoon is also an avid art collector. On a video released in December of 2022 where Namjoon was showing off his house, fans could count more than 100 art pieces around his house, including paintings and sculptures. One of them is a $1.2 million art piece by Ronnie Horn. With Namjoon confirming the release of yet another album and the fact that he's going to become a cast member on the Dictionary of Useless Knowledge, it's likely that his net worth will increase. With his earnings officially being reported as $33 million, Yoongi takes the place as the second richest member in BTS. Yoongi has a fair share of earnings from BTS's sales, brand endorsements, and commercials, but he also profits a good amount from his royalties. Yoongi has an impressive list of songs where he's credited writer, composer, and producer under the Korean Music Copyright Association. This doesn't involve only BTS songs or his own solo work, but the releases of other musicians as well. Yoongi has also released his own mixtapes called August D and D2, and has a list of hit songs like They Tweeta, Tony Montana, So Far Away, August D, Give It To Me, and much more. His latest release, D2, landed on top of several music charts like Billboard's World Albums, Independent Albums, Top Rap Albums, and Billboard 200 charts. Yoongi has been involved in producing for other artists like Psy, IU, Haze, Epic High, and even for Samsung and Hybe. He is also the owner of a luxurious house located in Yuan Village in South Korea. The cost of this house is set to be around $3 million at the time of purchase. Yoongi is set to release another mixtape or album in the near future, so he might be moving up on this list. And at the top of the list is none other than Hoseok. His net worth over the years has reportedly accumulated to $34 million, making him the richest BTS member. He has a base salary of $8 million per year, and like every BTS members, he earns a lot from album sales, concerts, tour, merch, and much more. He has worked on multiple BTS tracks as a songwriter and producer ever since the group's debut, and launched his solo career in 2018 with the release Hope World, which made him top the charts in Korea and internationally. Hoseok also collaborated with Becky G in the 2019 single Chicken Noodle Soup. His solo work topped several Billboard chart charts like the World Albums and World Digital Song Sales charts at the time of its release. Hoseok earns a huge amount from his Instagram. Counting 42.3 million followers as of December 2022, he earns a minimum of $38,000 per sponsored post. This can go as high as $462,000. He also released his album Jack in the Box in July of 2022. Jack in the Box made it onto NME's 50 Best Albums of 2022 list, landing at number 42. The album was also ranked at number 9 on Rolling Stone's annual 100 Best Albums of 2022 list. Putting his money to good use, Hoseok purchased an apartment located in Seongsu-dong, Seoul, which is worth $1.1 million. Currently, its value has increased and is now worth $2 million. It also seems like he has a very expensive taste. In an ad that BTS did for Hyundai Palisade, Hoseok was wearing a $64,000 watch, which cost more than the car that he was advertising. What are your thoughts on this? Share them in the comments. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye!